Hi, I'm Nomi and today we are going to be watching The Owl House Season 1, Episode 4, which is The Intruder. And so today I decided to put on my owl-themed glasses, which have little, like, feather motifs on the outer rims or whatever, and they have little swoopy horns, like the horns of an owl. So that's how I'm dressed and themed for today. And so if that didn't make things clear, I have already watched the series before, so I know what's going on. I know what happens in the episode, so I will be referencing future episodes and, doing all that good stuff so that afterwards we can draw some fan art of what happened in the episode. And so I'm going to dim the lights for this one because we're in a nice, gloomy, overcast day. And incidentally, that is the day that I was having. It's currently nighttime because I procrastinated filming this all day, but it was kind of overcast all day. It's actually snowing right now. Or it was. I'm looking outside the window. It's no longer snowing, I don't think. Just kind of a frost, I guess. I don't know. I was inside all day, so it doesn't even matter. What was I gonna say? I don't know. We're gonna get started.
Human loose! You've been so obsessed with witchcraft that you haven't learned anything about
My kind. Prepare yourself for
Demons 101!
And look at that.
Demons
Me and
me are born
King are
tricksters of
actually
the
wearing the
twilight,
same hat
creatures of
tonight.
sulfur and...
This is my paying attention face.
Uh-oh, looks like it's gonna rain.
I love
See, alright. So, I do wonder, how long King has been kind of diving into this research to try to figure out what kind of demon he is, because do we classify Titans as demons, or do we classify them as others? I know that Lilith, kind of refers to Titan slash King as a god, but, where do they fall on the, classification scale? I do wonder. But back to, seeing King kind of dive into his research into demons. It's just it kind of breaks my heart because I'm like, he's looking so hard for answers and clues into what kind of creature he may be so that he can find some type of kin. And it's just ugh, baby boy, I love you so much. And to see him try to bond with Luce over it as well, it further, breaks my heart because he's just he's reaching out with the only thing he has. That is the thing that he is the most knowledgeable about, in the house, besides Hootie, but Luce doesn't really want to, at this point, hang out with Hootie, but I love him.
Phew, that was close. But the important
You think
thing
the
is you
Oracle
didn't get
Coven
hurt.
would do better at predicting forecasts?
Ow, 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 ow.
You know what's low-key upsetting? The fact that the Boiling Isles doesn't have the infrastructure to, protect its citizens from the boiling rains. I think that's absolutely insane, and I know that has to be an effect from, Bellos taking over, because, he's not a witch. He's a human. He doesn't know proper precautions, and because he's separated all of the fucking wild magic, I'm sure people can't naturally do the cool rain protecty thing that Ida does in just a second. But it just there are a lot of small things that you're that's definitely the government's fault. I am certain of it.
buddies.
Oh my gosh, I love you so
And we're fashion buddies.
A boiling rainstorm on the boiling isles. The weather here is so fun.
Yeah, we don't have weather. We have plagues, tornadoes, shale hail, rainbows.
It's like a rainbow, but looking at it turns
I
you
love
inside
seeing
out.
King
So, until
wag
the
his
boiling
tail.
rain stops.
Hoot! Well, hurry it up with that force field! That rain is getting closer to my precious stucco!
Yeah, I got it.
Getting closer, it's actively on it.
Wow. Someday I'd like to be as cool as Ida the Owl Lady.
Don't we all?
Magical, sassy, surprisingly foxy for her age. Hey, why do they call you
Smash.
the Owl Lady anyway?
Because I'm so wise.
Cause she coughs up rat bones!
I think it's because she gets
And
distracted
still,
by shiny
smash.
objects.
No, I don't.
I find it hard to believe that Ida actually wears bras. I saw that bra on the
Ida,
on
have
the,
I told you how rad your fang
divider.
looks today?
Whatever.
She
it is,
definitely does
no.
not wear that.
And your hair is like,
She's just
girl.
I'm not teaching
natural.
you magic tonight. Let me ask you, kid. Where do you think magic comes from?
From the heart?
Actually, you're right.
I would love to
Yeah,
know
really.
all
It
of
comes from
the
a sack of magic bile
biological
attached to a
differences
witch's
between
heart.
Oh,
witches
gross.
and humans, because I know there are more. Like,
Now, everything depends on the
witches
spell circle.
probably are
Bigger the
able to
circle, the more
process
powerful
like
the spell.
poisons better because their world is so
How can
hostile.
I,
They
little
have just like,
Luce,
I don't
do
know, a
magic if I
stronger
don't have a magic
liver.
sack?
You know, I'm not actually
I don't know. I don't know
What?
biology,
I
but
know
like you
witches
get the
did magic
point of what
differently
I'm
in
trying
the
to
past,
say.
But I never. Fine. Now you see, the spell circle is really key because. Oh boy.
Well, looks like one more
I
spell
do
killed
think
Ida.
that
Oh my gosh.
the
my
Owl
obsession with
House
spells
has
left
one of
Ida.
the
I'm a
like
monster.
more interesting power
Yep,
systems.
she's out. Bap.
You
Just
know,
making sure.
not
She can help,
the
right?
most, but like I definitely really enjoy like
No,
I would have
what's wrong?
loved to
It'll be
have
funny.
more time to really
Shiny thing.
dive into the intricacies of
Remember
you
when her
know,
head got cut off last week? That woman could
natural
survive
like
anything.
witch
She's probably
magic
just
and
tired from staying
also
up all night chasing shrooms
glyph
and bulls.
magic.
Well, we
I would
can't
have
just leave her
loved
on
to
the
have known
floor.
like how exactly like the magic is like divided and like how like the systems have to interact with each other
Please don't hurt me when you wake
to
up.
get work done, because I imagine it's very
Rest,
similar to
Come on, let's go upstairs.
like the American healthcare system where you have to get referral after referral after referral.
Ha! Nice
I
try.
think why does Ida just have crap in her room? That's so dangerous.
An
I don't
elixir a
think
day.
I think she must have like trapped herself multiple times.
Real magic. This is historic.
I wonder what would have happened if Luce did drink it,
This is
because
awful.
Who even
definitely
needs
wouldn't
a
have done
light bulb? We
nothing.
have tons of lamps. Hootie controls the house lights. He probably just fell asleep.
Hootie.
You know, if they were able to kind of detective their way through that, they would have been able to figure out that A,
Gosh,
the
snack
creature
bag.
came from
He
inside
turned
the
the
house
rain.
because all the
Must have
damage
stumbled
was
across our house
inside,
and seen us
and there was
inside.
no, like, evidence of them coming in until right then and there.
So why
So-
do you look so happy?
They could have deduced that it
This
it
could
might
be
have
a
been
lesson.
Ida.
This would be a great way for you
I
to
guess
see
the
a
creature
wild
could have
demon up
broken
close
in
and
from a
personal.
different
You
area
want
of
to
the
go
house, but
toward those creepy sounds? No way.
What if Ida gets eaten? She's upstairs and defenseless because you knocked her out.
But that is also a very fair assumption that Ida is still passed out. I love seeing all of the different owl like shaped items. There's a table
Oh my gosh!
back there that was shaped like an owl, and I like actually kind of want it.
Snaggleback? Wow, you are a lot shorter in person.
See, my thing is, I know like a lot of people are like, yeah, the just like the information is wrong. I always just kind of assumed that this Snaggleback specifically is a juvenile version of a Snaggleback, and that the ones that were recorded in the book are like mature ones. And so I feel like that's also like a reference to King's lineage, because he is a juvenile Titan, and you know, in the texts, the Titan is very, very large, and you know, is able to do all of this stuff and whatever, that King just simply is not able to do at this point. But that's because he is a baby Titan, and so it would make sense for that to be mirrored here with the Snaggleback also being a juvenile, and the one that is in the book is mature. So I think that's what this guy is supposed to essentially represent.
Huh? Well then, what?
Oh no!
I also, so Ida did go on, like, say that the Snaggleback is a fake demon, so I do wonder if there is an element of King being able to essentially make species. Like, I know that's not what happened here, I don't think, but like, I do wonder if, like, at some point, if King is going to be able to, like, magic up life, and like the things that he has drawn will essentially be the things that he makes. Also, always have to point out, whenever they do the smooth animation, King running through the hallway was
Loose?
Luce must have had the type of phone where you could shake it and it activated the flashlight, because that's the only way I could imagine that happening.
I thought maybe if I taught you, finally someone would care about creatures like me.
Well, let's finish the lesson.
Huh?
Ida's
Little
turned
does
some
he
kind of
know,
demon, and we need to
every
save her.
single
So who
creature
knows
on the
more
Boiling
about demons than
Isles
the best
sans
teacher
like
in the world?
one person believes in creatures like him, just in a way he does not
Let's
expect.
see.
There's a pattern in the spell circle.
I really like that.
Where?
It's basically confirmed that the
looks like
Titan was choosing to show loose all of the glyphs of his deceased blood, body, whatever, magic. But like, he's actively watching, and it was like, I want you to know how to do this stuff, because you've shown yourself worthy, you've taken care of my son now, and like, I'm going to now give you the tools to continue to take care of him and take care of yourself. I just love that. I love it.
But okay. Oh, what
I like that,
here? It's just
like, I'm sure it was Ida who recreated it with the Da Vinci or whatever correct term there, but like, I like that she recreated it with herself.
Sorry, Ida, but it's for your own good.
And Ida's wall is suddenly not there. I wish we saw the aftermath of that. I want to see the missing wall.
You doing that?
I don't know, but she did it all on her own. Hey, I kind of messed a bunch of things up back there, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Well, you better be. I got a long list of disgusting chores with your name on it. But it's not entirely. But
And I
if
do
you
love
take the right
the,
steps, it's manageable. Whoa.
the
So,
metaphor,
okay?
allegory.
There's nothing for you to worry about. It's all
of
under control. And as long as
blah,
no
blah,
one
blah, blah,
steals
blah,
my
uh,
elixir,
Ida's
King,
curse,
then I'm fine.
essentially
Hey, look at
representing,
this. A human
you know,
doing magic.
illness,
Good on you,
you know,
kid.
whatever
I had some
type it may
encouragement from a
be.
great teacher.
Her, in her case,
Oh,
it's
you.
definitely a more physical manifestation of physical disability, or, you know, something like that.
Voice.
Um,
that horrific
but like,
voice.
it's a very
I'll take care of
relatable
him.
thing to
You
have
stay in
to
bed. Come on, you
learn
goofy
to
fella. We'll set
just
you free now.
manage
Well, I
the
think my
cards that
tale
you've
was
been dealt.
digested.
And it gets easier whenever you let people in.
No, not this memory again. You're the one who cursed me, aren't you? Who are you? Who are you?
So I know that we know at this point, if you have watched the entire series, that shadow is Lilith. That's the person who cursed her. I wish that we were introduced to Rain
This'll make a
at
great
some
addition to my
point in
demon
this
book.
first season, because then we would actually be wondering who this person may be, because I believe at some point in this season we see Lilith like with her glasses, like whenever she was younger, but so like at that point it's like pretty obvious who it is that cursed her. We just have to wait for that, like, what is it, confirmation. But if we were introduced to Rain just a little bit earlier, sometime here in season 1, it would have been an actual question on who cursed Ida, because, you know, on one hand we would have her sister, she was very close to whenever she was young, but then suddenly, you know, they drifted apart after the curse or whatever. But then they could have had Ida and her childhood lover Rain, and it would have been like, what if they cursed Ida in like some type of, I don't know, fit of jealousy, or you know, something like that. I don't know how the story would work, but I feel like that would have been a better, like, you would have had to choose Team Lilith or Team Rain, and it would have just been a very interesting dynamic that I think would have been better pulled off, especially with how the season ends up wraps up, and like how it was, like, the actual reveal like went down in the season finale. And I'm just like, I feel like it could have just been slightly more better executed, and I wish we had more time. It's always that. I wish we had more time, and I wish that they just did certain things a little bit differently. And I think I'm going to keep yapping about this, I think in initial drafts, there were storylines where Lilith was a like a teacher at the school, or like the principal of the school, and Rain was like a teacher, and, you know, or something like that. I don't exactly know. But like there were other storylines that I think would have supported like the mystery reveal of who cursed Ida a lot better. So yeah. Anyways, now that I'm done just absolutely yapping about things that aren't even in this episode, I didn't even talk, whatever. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the drawing, and we're gonna go, bah! Alright, and now, at long last, you're finally done with the animation, which is what I decided to do for an inexplicable reason. Once again, like last episode, I made the poor choice of doing too much. That is what I did. I did too much. In fact, I had a whole other animation before this one that we're looking at now that I scrapped completely. So, I don't know what was going on. I was just having an incredibly hard time, you know, getting things just right whenever I was kind of working in the final, you know, aspect of it. The parts that I ended up cutting out was what we're looking at now, which was Luce kind of sneaking out from under Ida's wing and pulling King out to sneak away, and then everything after that, because there was a little bit more. But yeah, I ended up scrapping all of that, and this is kind of like set in like an alternative ending where instead of Ida kind of raging on Luce and King as the Owl Beast, it's more of like an imprinting scenario where she now thinks they're her babies. I love those fan fictions, so I kind of wanted to do something based on that, but then again, I got lazy and I also got frustrated, and so this is this is what we're gonna be dealing with. I basically only did the part where Ida was breathing, and so none of this. And just like last time, the background was the easiest part because it was static and I didn't have to think too much about it because, you know, I didn't have to like design it from scratch either. Sorry. Ugh. Now we're kind of working on the trees, and it's just like a gentle sway, but just going with the wind and then the raindrops, and then in a second I'll do sky, and I'm gonna actually have it like pretty long so it can like I can have it go across, and I'll have it thunder, and it'll be nice and vibey. And then here shortly comes my enemy whenever I have to actually animate Ida and everyone else. I think I spent probably around 4, maybe 5 days working on this, and just absolutely not being happy with any of it. What I think I ended up with was pretty okay. Not what I intended, but, you know, I still think it's pretty nice. That being said, I did want to, before we, like, totally finish up, I did kind of want to talk about the episode a little bit. I think, this episode, and, like, the series in general, is one of my favorites, just because I think it has, like, really good representation on what it's like to live with, like, some type of illness, whether it be like a chronic like physical illness or a mental illness. I think Ida is like really good representation of that, because, you know, the curse kind of flares up whenever it wants to, and it kind of like controls Ida's life, and there's like a level of shame associated with it, and it's something that she ultimately learns how to deal with and accept, and that's like part of her character arc, and it ultimately makes her stronger for it. But I always thought it was just such beautiful representation, and I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to shout that out. And now we're just putting in some of the final touches just to make things feel a little bit more lived in, and, you know, having all of that, you know, atmospheric light and thunder and lightning and all that good stuff. But, you know, with that all being said, I am very pleased to present the animation that I did, and I'll be quiet for a second so that you can hear all of the sound effects that I added to it in post. Just isn't that nice? I don't know how long it was. Hopefully I left an adequate amount of time for that. And so that's basically all I have for today. Just one other thing. I will be kind of reposting some of the earlier episodes. I'm gonna do them in a more condensed version like I did these episodes 3 and 4, which was last video and this one. These ones were just a lot more condensed, I think a little bit easier to watch, so I am going to be remaking the first 2 videos so that they're a little bit shorter, to match these ones, so it's a bit of an easier viewing experience. But with that all said, I will see you in the next video.